Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We are back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, we are back again with another episode of New Figure Pickups. This is episode 104. Can you believe it? Here we go, episode 104. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with some great figures here. Some really cool and unique ones that had to get into the collection sooner or later. And a couple of, I guess you could say, grails. There's maybe at least one in this video. If not, maybe two. Who knows? Depends on who you are and what you like. But I will say some great figures here, and I can't wait to show them with you guys. So let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the one and only AEW figure that we have here today. And that is none other than the AEW Unrivaled Collection. It is Ricky Starks, also known now as Ricky Saints in WWE. This is the rare 1 of 3,000 edition. And this is where Ricky Starks was feuding with none other than Darby Allin. And as you can see here, his face is painted similar to that Darby Allin style and wearing kind of like a similar attire as well. A very cool piece here, a great and unique figure, as well as a great little rivalry that happened there. And I've been wanting to get this one for quite some time. I don't go after all of the, chase figures or the variants or the rares, whatever you want to call them. I don't go after all of them, but this was one that I wanted really bad when it came out, and obviously never finding it in the store. Always tough, but regardless, Ringside Collectibles, God, they have been coming through year after year after year, as I've said many a times. I think I've been going to Ringside Collectibles now for, geez, I don't even know. It's got to be all of 20 years, if not maybe more. But they did have this. I paid really, when you think about the prices of things, I don't feel like I paid all too much. I mean, one of these figures would have sold for $25, probably around, with tax in a retail store. So to pay $40 for this was not bad, but Ringside does have them if you're looking. I don't know how long these will be up or how many they have available, but for $40, I mean, there's a lot of AEW chases that are also on there, even cheaper than this. So depends on which one you're looking for. And of course, I'm sure between what the figure is and the fact that Ricky Starks, or again, Ricky Saints, is in WWE now, I am sure that they are definitely capitalizing on that with a little extra money on top. But I feel like $40 for a chase AEW figure is completely fair. I also paid $40 a little while back. One of our previous videos, we had the Mark Briscoe in the 1 of 3,000 or the 1 of 5,000, and he has the referee attire on. Same thing. I paid $40 for that one. I don't really think that's all too bad, especially with the price of figures today. And that's going to be a future video as well, as we remove Ricky Starks from the podium here. But that's going to be a future video talking about pricing, figure pricing, reselling, stores, stuff like that. Just a little bit of everything. We're going to get into that in a future video, one of our Let's Talk About It videos. And we're going to do that very soon, but we're going to discuss that. And of course, we're going to, break some things down, discuss a few different things of just kind of where the market is at today, and to try to put things into perspective for some people, because unfortunately, not everybody maybe follows along as closely as others, myself, being one, but it's sometimes tough for the average person to realize just how much of an increase we've had in a lot of things over the past couple of years. So, but we're going to talk about that in a future video. As we continue here, my next pieces that I'm going to show off, or actually, no, I've got one more before we get there. So let me do this one first before we get into that next little segue. But up next, we've got none other than, yeah, you can see it. It's a Saturday Night Main Event figure, or is it? Who knows? What is it? What is in this box? Does anybody know? Does anybody already have one of these? Can you already tell? Can you already tell me what's in this? Well, if you don't already know, this is the outer packaging for one Jesse the Body Ventura. And Jesse Ventura here, a great Ultimate Edition figure, Saturday Night Main Event style. It's got this like camo green kind of outback, if you will, Australian, if you will, little combo there. It's almost like kind of like what they used to call him, Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. It's kind of like that mixed with a little bit of military here, if you will. But this is the outer package for it. And of course, we got to show you what would be inside that package. And it is none other than the Mattel Creations Ultimate Edition Jesse the Body Ventura. And how cool is this figure? You know, it's been something that we've been waiting for now for a while. Mattel had a couple of different little things go on their website. We had a drop that was supposed to be this, and then it didn't happen. And then people were very concerned that we were actually not going to receive this figure due to some of the issues that Jesse and the WWE were having. However, I don't know how true that is. There was a Saturday night main event that he was pulled from, and then he was also back in it, I want to say for John Cena's last match, but I don't think he was calling commentary. I think he was like up on the desk. I think he was either with Stephanie McMahon or Joe Tessitore or something like that. But either way, I really like Jesse. I think all of the political stuff aside, all of the conspiracy stuff aside, I think he is definitely a true, just, trailblazer when it comes down to it. He made the path for others to walk through. And, between guys like himself, you talk about guys like Hulk Hogan, talk about guys like superstar Billy Graham. I mean, a lot of great talents that all shared in a similar look kind of in that era. And Jesse definitely being one of them. But Jesse, I think, great figure here. Very, very cool attire. Like I said, got that like Outback Crocodile Dundee style look. He's got the cowboy hat on with some like camo style looking, accents to it. That jacket is very tiger, jungle, very cool here. All the way down to the snake skin or crocodile alligator boots. Who knows what they are, right? But they are definitely very, very cool, very detailed. And I think this is a great figure. So who knows, maybe we'll get this one unboxed and reviewed soon and take a really good look at it. But Jesse the Body Ventura coming out of the Mattel Creations exclusive, of course, and a great figure all the way around. I really like it. So up next, we're going to jump into where I was going to start on the last one, but now we're officially here. So I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Drew. I've met a lot of great people through this, through this community, through the industry, through buying, selling, and all that stuff. And as I've said to you guys 100 times over, I mean, collecting for so many years, a little over 25 years of collecting, a little bit of, what do you want to say there? Probably about 15 years of total active time with the Matt's Wrestling Collectibles store, with the Matt's Wrestling Collectibles brand. So I've met a lot of great people through this. And Drew, a big shout out to my buddy Drew. He has been nothing but gracious to me. He has been nothing but just absolutely flawless in being able to deal with him. And that's one of the beautiful things that you do find in this community. As I do say, always be very careful when you are trading with somebody online. You really have to get an idea for, who you're dealing with, get some references, check it out. And as always, and I don't say this to start battles with people, but if somebody is much more creditable than the other, you should be able to have that other person ship first. At least that's how I feel. And it's not that I am saying that in any bad way towards the people out there that do trade, but if you don't know somebody, if you don't know what their game is and you can't really figure it out elsewhere, at that point you have to make yourself a decision on whether you're going to still trade or you're not. So if you do choose to do that, I would always say, depending on how credible you are in this game, in this industry, I would suggest that, the more reliable, the more trustworthy person, or at least as far as who is known better as far as being trustworthy or known better in the collecting community, that person should be able to ship last. And that's not what I'm getting at with this story. Me and Drew have already done multiple trades, and but I always do say that to people: just make sure that you're doing your due diligence and checking on what is happening around, because a lot of people will give you their feedback, and if there's no feedback, sometimes that's just as good as bad feedback. So always check and make sure. But without that, all getting into a crazy mess here, I do want to say a big shout out to my buddy Drew one more time. I just recently got in trade from him none other than the Ultimate Edition ringside exclusive. We got the Dudley boys here, and it is none other than Bubba Ray and D. Von Dudley, of course. And these figures, fantastic. Can't wait to show you them in just a second here. But we'll show you the packaging. They're like table style on the sides here, you know, broken tables. Dudley Boys on one side, obviously their face with the Dudleys going through it in the middle. This has been a common look for them, you know, the Usos, the Outsiders, the Steiner brothers. A lot of, you know, similar looks here. And again, Ultimate Edition, like with a table broken there, very cool. Spin it around to the back, it's kind of got that same like wooden tabletop look, but a very cool piece here all the way around. We now get to enjoy the figures themselves. We'll start off with Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray is looking good here, and a very, very nice figure. Let's see if we can get that glare off there. There we go. Looking very nice, and, you know, like I said, I love cloth goods on anything, so cloth goods on him is fantastic. That's one of the things that I think we lost out on. We slacked a little bit with the Devon. I think the Devon could have benefited from some type of cloth goods or something. I think it would have made the figure a little bit more desirable. And with this, you know, we have you know, Bubba Ray with the cloth goods top and the camo bottoms, and with the Devon, I think it would have been cool maybe to get the cloth good pants and the hard top shirt, or, you know, vice versa, maybe give them both the same bottoms and then, you know, give the cloth goods all the way around on the top. Either way, though, comes with a couple extra head scans, does come with a set of those Dudley glasses, as well as a World Tag Team Championship. Very, very cool here. The only thing I think this figure could be missing, and I believe that they should have done it, was I think a table should have been included in this figure. And I only say that because you go back to, you know, really their first Elite figures, and they had a decent little amount of things that they came with, you know, the 2 pairs of glasses, the hands, all that stuff. And of course, those were all hard sculpts. There was no soft goods in that, but still, I think we could have maybe got a table in here, because even those Elites had tables, I believe. I think both of them came with a table, so would have been cool to see that in here. But either way, Bubba Ray Dudley looking great here, and we're going to take this out, go over it, kind of review it, see what we like, what we don't like, you know, we'll figure it out. Maybe there's something in here that we can get rid of and customize a little bit. But either way, a great figure. I really, really do like this, and excited to add this one to the collection. And now, with these now being added to the collection, one thing that is nice about this is I'm only in need of the Dudleys that are in the re-released From the Vault series of what was their most recent ringside exclusive as well. That might have even been on Mattel Creations. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it was on Mattel Creations, but I don't know if that was just they had it and Ringside also had it, but it was an exclusive to somebody. I just don't know exactly which one it was. However, some people not, you know, thrilled with those quick re-releases in the From the Vault series. I am very much in agreement with that. However, in occasional times like this, where we're getting this, the Dudleys again from that 2-pack, and getting them in the singles versions, both with the titles and you know, some extras there as well, I do think it's great, because now I'll be able to add that back to the collection, and you know, that's always easy that way. But if you guys want to check that out, you can get over to the channel. We already have an episode of Let's Talk About It, where we do talk about the From the Vault series and some of the pros and cons of what is currently going on. But with that being said, let's get back to the man here, Devon Dudley. And Devon Dudley looking great in this figure. Again, like I said, you know, the blue camo pants, I think it's a great look for the Dudleys. And I'm happy that we're getting something different and something that we have not received. The last time that we got these Dudley figures, and I don't know if they were exactly to the T of this figure, but the last time we received these Dudley figures or something similar to them was way back in the Jakks days. So very cool to see these here. Very cool to get these in the collection. And like I said, we'll have to check out the head sculpts, see what we have on the other figures, see what we have coming on the newer figures from that from the Vault series. And who knows, maybe we'll get rid of a couple of things, mix and match, do a little customizing, all that great stuff. But Devon, like I said, looking great, man. I mean, this is a great figure. It actually may be, and I'm, you know, I'm going a little out on this one, but this may be Devon Dudley's best figure ever. I mean, this really could be it. And not to take away from all the figures that he's received over the years. Like I said, the Jakks days, even still in Mattel, we go over to TNA. I mean, there was quite a bit of the Dudley boys out and about and around through these years. So, but this is a fantastic figure, and I'm very much excited to add this one to the collection along with Bubba Ray. And again, you know, it also adds to your ECW collection as well, even though this would have been the time of WWF, but ECW originals, of course, and so excited. I cannot stress enough just how excited I am to get these into the collection, and just great figures all the way around. So we'll see where we go from here, but we do got to get that from the vault set of the Dudleys, and then once that is done, we're kind of going easy on the Dudleys at this point, because we'll have all the versions that I think we really need, and we'll see what else we get from Mattel in the future. And then up next, this will wrap up my trade from my buddy Drew here, but this is also another ECW original and a very cool figure that I have been needing for quite some time. That is none other than Elite Series 50 Rhino. And Rhino, a great figure here, and autographed at that. And again, you know, big shout out to Drew, always, you know, working with me, and we always figure out something, and I just want to say thank you to him again. And this figure, you know, again, is just going to be another cool piece in the collection. I don't really collect autographed figures. It's just not my thing. I don't really care for autographs in general, but it is what it is. You know, some people really do love them, and it's cool to get them. I definitely enjoy the few that I have, but I never go out of my way to find autographed figures. But for what I paid for this, it wasn't much further away from what you would purchase this figure for without the autograph. So very excited again to add this one to the collection. There is one other Rhino that they made from Mattel in the basic series. Not sure if I want to get that one. I may, just because of the attires being different and that there's so few Rhino figures. But aside from the arms on this figure and the massive shoulders that they gave him, which, you know, people weren't crazy about, but you got to remember, Rhino's always been a real bulky guy. You know, so in some ways I can see where, you know, people wouldn't like it, but I think it can fit. I think you can make it work, but again, it's all personal preference. He comes with the SmackDown tag title. Very cool to get that as well, because as of right now, I think I already have a set of the blue and red that are in the dull version. So to get them now both in the shiny version as well would be pretty cool. We're going to get the Heath Slater that does go with this figure, and we'll spin this around really quick just so you guys can see. I don't know if... oh, Heath Slater was not in this series. Okay. I did not know that. I actually thought the Slater was in this set. So that is my fault there. I did not realize that Slater was actually either in the set, I would assume, prior or after this one. But either way, Rhino Elite Series 50, a great figure. And again, a big shout out to Drew. I am just so grateful for all the trades that we've done already, and just a great guy all the way around. And if you guys happen to see him on my page, you know, hit him up, check it out, see what he's got. He's also got his store as well, so he's got a lot of items for sale, and I'm sure he would be happy to do a deal with just about anybody. So check out Drew if you want to find him through my Facebook page. I am going to have a shout out to him on there. You can find that in one of the posts and go from there if you'd like. Up next, guys, we're going to wrap this video up with what I would consider to be the best of this entire video. I consider this to be the true grail of this video. And I said that there could be a couple grails in here, as, like I said, with the Rhino figure there, that is a potential grail to somebody, autographed, you know, the only Elite they ever made of him. So I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are very much in need and want to get that Rhino figure. But this one coming up here goes all the way back to my childhood. It goes all the way back to the Jax days. It goes all the way back to when days were just nothing but wrestling and going to school, because that's what we did back then, right? If it wasn't about WWE, if it wasn't about the fact that we had to go to school, hey, you know what? What else was there to do, right? But as I joke, as I kid, of course, this is one of my absolute grails to this video, a grail in general, and I am so happy to add this to my collection, and that is none other than the Hulk Hogan Classic Superstars combo pack with the Winged Eagle Championship belt. This is obviously the kids' toy version, and at one point in my life, I really did want to collect die-cast, you know, full replica belts. I put that on the back burner for quite some time and decided that it is much easier to collect these belts. Obviously, there are a few that I don't think we've received in toy form, so if you want a replica, you'd have to go and get the replica itself. But with majority of the more well-known and major titles, you will see most of them created in a, children's version, a toy version, if you will. But this figure combo with this belt is just absolutely incredible. We get the Hulk Rules, exclusive figure at the time. As far as I know, I don't think they ever re-released that exact Hogan again. And it was, it was something different at the time. I mean, of course, Jakks, we look back on it, there's so much we can say we loved. There's a lot of things we can say we didn't, but I do think that they had a great deal here when they did these combo packs. And if you guys also remember, they even had other versions of these combo packs where it wouldn't be like where here we say, oh, it comes with Hogan. Hogan held this belt, but hey, let's say, and this is just for the sake of argument, let's say, Hogan and Andre, WrestleMania 3, the big match, the big one, right? Well, they'd have a 2-pack like this where you'd get Hogan on one side, the belt in the middle, and Andre on the other. And again, I'm just spitballing on that one there. There is, not exactly that pack has been created, but they did have other ones with tag titles and tag teams. And they had one, I believe, because I remember having it as a kid, they had the one with the United States Championship, came with Booker T and Chris Benoit. Of course, they had their best of 7 U.S. title match there. And I loved that. That was fantastic. As a matter of fact, I think it was their final match of that series when Benoit, I believe, retained the title or captured the title. That was at Armageddon of 2005. I was sitting front row for that. So a very, very cool memory there, But these figures, these belt packs, just so cool. This is also a part of the Classic Superstars line, as you can see there, and as we can also see up here. So this is actually a part of Classic Superstars, which is so cool that they would, tie that into these packs, and I just think it's awesome all the way around. There is one other thing, though, I do want to show on this before we get out of here for the day, and that is, as I looked around at the back here, I said, oh man, I remember the days of Jakks. We used to get these figures back here, and they'd come with details. Excuse me, guys, as I lose my breath there, and I don't know. I think I almost just passed out right there. Was that what it was? Who knows? I don't know. Who cares, right? We're all here. We're going to keep going. Hey, if you hear me hit the floor, just, hang out and relax. We'll come back, some point. But we used to get these figures back here. They'd always have details on them that we didn't get when we actually received the figure. And I'm not saying that this is what we did receive or didn't receive, but like you see Edge, he's got the Edge E logos on the boots. They might not have had it on the boots. The Kurt Angle, same thing. Details on the boots, details on the knee pads. You might not have gotten that when you actually got the real figure. But what was so cool about the back of this package was I actually almost went insane for a quick second. I said, wow, I'm like, how did I not know about this? So as you can see right here, we've got Psychosis and Super Crazy, the Mexicools, and they had a third partner. They were a trio team, and who was that? None other than Juventud. And Juventud was a fantastic addition to the group and to just SmackDown in general back in the day. I used to love it. They were so cool. They'd come out on the lawnmowers and stuff, and I just thought they had a really cool faction, and I think it could have been a lot bigger and better, had Psychosis and Super Crazy captured the tag titles, had Juventud captured, maybe the Cruiserweight title or a mid-card title, I don't know, United States, Intercontinental, whatever the case would be at the time. But when I saw this, I was like, no way. I'm like, man, I got to get that figure. So of course I go and look it up. Come to find out, it was never released. It was an unreleased figure of him. And man, how much did that that tore my heart right out when I saw that, because I do have a Juventud already in the Lucha Libre series. He also does have a figure that was made by FTC. So I'd like to get that maybe some point in the future, because it would be more the Jakks style, as the Lucha Libre is kind of more of like a Mattel style in a way as far as like comparisons go. But I would love to get that figure, hopefully sometime in the future. As far as the FTC goes, I think that would be great, but so crazy to see that. I'm like, wow, I just never remember seeing that as a kid, and I owned this belt and Hogan as a kid, so I just must have never paid attention to it. But Either way, guys, we are officially done here with yet again another episode of New Figure Pickups. It's episode 104. As always, if you've been with me for 103 previous episodes, I appreciate you oh so much. And if this is your first time here today, well, I appreciate you as well. I would also appreciate, and of course, I would love if you guys get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon if you want to see and hear from me every single day. Like I say, you might also want to make a phone call to your local doctor because you might need to seek medical attention if you really want to hear from me and see from me every single day. You might need help. Hey, I probably need help myself, so we'll help each other out by keeping these videos going. You watch them, I'll make them, and we'll just keep on going. See, look, I'm getting so excited now, I'm knocking the camera around. So before we go any further, guys, as always, appreciate each and every single one of you. Until the next time, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all in the next video.